Hi, it's Murray's Tech Time, and today I'm going to be doing what I said I was going to be doing. And in case you missed it, I was going to build part of my overachieving NAS system in some parts and not in others. Some of the components are going to stay the same, but some of them later are going to be put into my home computer that's going to be in the living room. So besides all that, basically what it is this is the motherboard right here. And it says Max on it. It's probably upside down to you, but it's the right way for me. I always work on a motherboard with the I/O facing away from me. And then that way there I get to see everything that I'm trying to do right in front of me. So usually the first thing that I do is I put in the CPU, and my CPU is the Athlon 3000G, which is it right here, right there, Athlon 3000G. I suppose I better take it out of here, then it wouldn't be so. Take it out of there so it won't be so shiny. I don't know if you can read that or not, but that's what it is. It's the Athlon 3000G. So basically, all you do is grab the lever for the socket, pull it out a little bit this way, just to clear that little lip there, and then straight up. And then there's a little arrow right here. Actually, it's a bigger arrow that's on the regular ones, the regular 3000 series. As you can see it, and then there's a little arrow right there. So what you do is you just line those up, and you don't use any force at all. You just move it around, and she sits right down inside. And you can hear it go clunk. And you take that, and you pull it down, and you pull it over a bit, and then put it back under the little lip there, and you're done. That's it. Pretty easy. Next thing I normally do then is I put on the heat sink. Now, this is the heat sink that you get with it, and it is probably perfectly fine for what it is. I want to put that back. I mean, most people use it. I'm just going to put it like that. Most people use it just fine. But I've got this, which is basically Thermaltake's version of the Hyper 212, and because everybody comes and makes a version of it, and this here, I like it a little bit better because there's more stuff. It'll dissipate more heat and whatnot, and it'll just keep everything a little bit cooler. So I'm going to throw that on in place, but I'm not going to do it right now. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the memory. Now, if you remember, I only got the one stick of memory, and it's 8 gigs, so it's only going to be single channel, all 8 gigs on one channel. But whenever you put in different amounts of sticks of memory, it depends on which slot that you put it in. Now, usually, whenever you put 2 in, like a matched pair, for dual channel memory, you put it in the second one and the fourth one. And I'm counting away from the CPU. Some boards count the other way. They go, but I always count CPU for 1, 2, 3, 4. So normally you put it in the second one and the fourth one. Well, since I only have one, I know it goes in the second one or the fourth one, and most likely because the second one is closer to the CPU, so the runs will be shorter to it. So therefore, I would automatically think that it would be going into the second one, but that's not always the case. You always have to check your manual. So you grab your manual, which is right here, And I'll put it down here, and let's see. See if I can find where this is. Okay. Oh, is that it? No. Oh, there it is, right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a picture right here. And it says, if you're going to put 1 in, it's in DIMM, DIMM A2. And then if you're putting 2 in, you put it in the last one also, which would be DIMM B2. So I guess they named them different on the MSI named them a little bit different. So it's A2, so that's this one right here. Now this one here, both sides open. So some of them only one side opens, usually the top, and the oldest ones, both sides open. So that's the oldest way to do it. So then you take your memory module and you line it up like this, and you see, if you can see, right here, there's a little notch. And then there's more space on this side to the notch than there is from this side to the notch. So basically this is longer on this side. So I just lined it up like that, looked, and yeah, the notch lines up that way. So that's what we do. We're just going to put it straight in, the little grooves, and then just kind of rock it back and forth. And then the double snap, one on each side, and it's in place. Done. So there you go. So now the next thing that I have to do is put on the heat sink. So basically, take the end off and put a pea-size spot right in the center. Put on a little bit more than what you think you might need, but not so much as you put way too much. I guess that's the easiest way to say. Now normally you have in the case, because this goes to the back of the case, there's usually a fan right there on the case. So what you want to have is this fan on your heatsink to be blowing air out here and then going to the fan that's right there. So normally you take the fan, which is that, and you aim it, you have it towards you, and you have this part of the fan aimed towards you, because this is the intake of the fan and this is the exhaust of the fan. So now, to use this style, because this is just the ones that use these little things right here, basically all you do on this one is you bring it on an angle like this, because this is the side that you're going to push on, because it's the one that's got the lever. It's got like a little bit of a lever there, this piece right here, and this one doesn't. So this one, you start first with this one, and you get it latched there. And then you hold that one out, kind of like a little bit of a dance here. Sometimes the heat sinks are in the way, so you just got to be a little bit careful. Okay, and then you bring it straight down, and then whenever you're right over the right spot, you push that down like that, and you're done. That's it. That's all you do. So it's pretty easy. I know you probably couldn't hear me when my head was down there, but that's it. And it's on there good and tight, and it's just the way you want it. And you can lift it up with the thing like that. I wouldn't do it too much, but you can do that. The ones that screw in, like the ones that you get, like these ones that have screw in, yeah, those ones there, I shake those around a little bit. But these ones here, I just be a little bit cautious of them because they're only just on by little clips. So there. So far, we've got the CPU in there. We've got the memory in here. We've got the heatsink on. So the next thing that we have to do is don't bother with a GPU because there's one built in on the CPU. There's a Vega 3 graphics on it. And if you look on the back, it has HDMI out, and it has DisplayPort out. So it has that on it too. So that's where you hook it up to. You hook it up to here. Don't need a graphics card. But you do need a power supply. So here's the power supply. And basically all I did, that was the one I had showed you, the CV550 80 plus bronze by Corsair. And the pieces that you need on it, there's 3 different things for the power that you need. One is the 24-pin power, which is right here. And there's a little clip right here. And then on this, right here, there's a little clip there, and that's your 24-pin. There's a little well, it's not a notch, but a little place for it to clip onto right there. So basically what you're doing is, I gotta get this a little closer. As you bring it over, you put it right over on top. Now, normally, I only do this whenever it's in the case. I don't do it like this. I'm just doing it like this to show you that it'll turn on. That's all. So, put it down until you hear a little snap, and then that means that it's nice and snug inside that. And then here is an 8-pin CPU. So that goes up over here. Now I don't have enough room to bring it all up and around over there, so I'm just going to go straight across. But normally in the case you're bringing it back up and over, like through the back and up to it. Now this one has an 8-pin and a 4-pin, but I'm not using that much power because I have a very, very small CPU inside there. So the 8-pin is probably, even the 8-pin's overkill. So the little notch is there, and the little, wrong around, and the little clip is there. So we'll just aim that in there, and there's the clip. Now I'm just going to make sure that this isn't over on top of this part here, or nothing's touching the fan. Now the next thing that we have here is the SSD. And there's the SSD. Now the SSD, there's 2 spots to connect to. That's for your data, and that's for your power. So your power, which is this here, there's a little notch right there, and there's a little notch right here. There's notch. This one is for the power, and this one is for the data. So you just have to line that up. So this one will go this way here, and we'll put that on here. And don't force it. Just be nice to it, and it'll go on. Those things sometimes snap, so just be a little careful with it. I haven't had one break, but some people say they do, so I don't know how forceful they are. All right. And then here, right here, are your SATA connectors. Now what I normally do is I connect it to SATA port 1. So if you look on your motherboard, it'll show you a little graph of which one's which, and then I'll connect it to SATA port 1. And right above it, it says SATA 1 and then 2. Now, usually the first one is the one that's on the bottom. Now, a good way to know which way to put these ones in is the little clip, which you'll never be able to get from the bottom, so the clip is pointed up. And then you just wiggle it in. And they're both the same on both sides. Pull on a little bit. Okay, that's good. And then this one, basically the same thing. There's your clip, it's pointed up, but also check to make sure the little notch there is pointing down, little notch there is pointing down, and you just bring it in and you put it on and make sure that. And if you need to take it off, you just press this, pull it out. Otherwise, it kind of locks in place. I don't know why they didn't do that to the power one. It's kind of strange. So, basically, this is what it looks like on the, let's see, the test bench. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug it in and we'll see if we can turn it on. Oh yeah, there's one other little thing that I always do. Always. They give you that little tiny screw that goes in for your NVMe drive or your SSD, like that goes in here, your M.2 here. Well, this one has two M.2s. It's got one with a cover that has a screw on it. Then they give you the screw for the second one. Okay? So whenever you go to put in the second one, Lord knows how long that'll be. And then you go, well, where's the screw? And you might lose the little package or throw away the box or something. So what I always do is I always put it on the motherboard right away. And it goes into the one where the standoff's in. And so this one would be the third one. And then you just put it on there and you just put it in there, get it down, and then just give it a little bit of a extra tight so it doesn't fall out. Not too hard. You don't want to strip it, the top of it. So just a little bit of down, tight, a little bit more, stop, and then now you're never going to lose the screw because it's right where you need it, sitting right there. I don't know why the motherboard manufacturers don't put it in there for you. Some do, some don't. I guess MSI doesn't, and neither does Asus. Not on the boards that I've gotten, anyway. So, here we go. Power. Oops. I had to put it in the right way. So there we go. And then the next thing that you have to do is you have to find, this one doesn't have a button to start it. Some motherboards do have a button to start them, but this one doesn't. So what I have to do is I have to short across two pins where the motherboard, where the case power switch is. So normally I use Phillips, and then it's on the top, and it's the top row. There's 4 pins on the top, 5 pins on the bottom, and then so the one, I guess, to the right, and it's JFP1 on this one. It's the 2 that are closer to me, like to where you are, on the top row. So you just touch those 2 and it should start. And it doesn't start. And the reason why is because I didn't press the button. You gotta make sure that this is on. So you look over, and it's because it's in 0 and 1. So it can't be in 0 because 0 means you got no power, 0 power. 1 means that you have 1 power supply, I guess now. Alright, so we'll do that, and then we'll touch across this one, and there's some lights, and we'll see what it does. Oh, and another thing that you should do is because I totally forgot, is plug in your fan for your CPU, because heat sinks don't work that good unless the fan is plugged in. Totally forgot that until I saw that it wasn't running. Okay, it's saying that I have a boot problem. And the boot problem is probably because I didn't have the fan plugged in, because it's smart enough to look to see if there's a fan there. And silly me forgot to put the fan on there. So turn that off again. Oh, the fan moved a bit, so this time it should work fine. See, these are all the little things that happen sometimes, because I mean, you talk and you forget, or you're going through things fast. But things nowadays, they're smart. They know what they need to have, the motherboards. So get yourself a good motherboard, knows what you need. But like I say, this motherboard is way overkill for what I'm doing here. All you need is a A320 motherboard that the Athlon 3000G will work on. You have to make sure that that's in the list of CPUs that'll work on the motherboard. If you want something to be able to overclock it, then you'll need a B450 or a B350. And right now, there's not much in B350s around, so an inexpensive B450 will be fine too. $60 US motherboard, or about an $80 Canadian motherboard would be fine, whether it be a A320 or a B450 or a B350. Any one of those would work fine. But for overclocking, B350 or B450, and definitely go with the B450 if you can. So we'll try her one more time. And there we go. Got the fan running. I probably can't see the fan running. The fan's running. I can see it. I could probably lift it up a little bit, but then I might short something. So I won't do that. So as you can see, maybe, I don't know if you can see that, but there's lights on here that shows you that it's on, and there's lights over here that are on in here, but it's probably hard to see that. I'll try to move it a little bit there so that you can see if you can see the glow on there. So it's showing your motherboard's working, so that means the CPU is running. There's no lights on there, but as you notice, remember, it was funny, the red one was on, and it was the one closest to here, and it said boot on it, so, and that was telling me that something's wrong with booting, and I knew that it wasn't plugged in, so I knew what to go look for. And I had it already plugged in, because I realized it a little earlier, and put it in, and then all I had to do was turn it off, turn it back on, hit the start switch again, well, you know what I mean, that's what I should have told you, and then have it run. And there you go. So we got this up and running, and so the next time you see it, it'll be in the case. But anyway, that's all I've got for this video. So you like it? Thumbs up. Don't like it? Thumbs down. Stay well. Stay healthy. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.